He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Cobra's attacking our winter outpost. Call in the members of the G.I. Joe team.
And here's Gung Ho, Airborne, Doc, and Snow Job. And every Joe has a two-handed battle grip.
Get aboard the Battle Bear. It's G.I. Joe to the rescue.
G.I. Joe.
We chased off Cobra. Way to go, Joe.
G.I. Joe Battle Bear. Joe and Cobra figures each sold separately from Hasbro.
Well, here we are. I want to congratulate you for being on time.
And we were not on time, so...
Now, are you a rusher? Or are you a dragger? Or are you going to be on my fucking time?
I'm going to be on your time.
We whiplashed ourselves.
That is true. I'd like to thank everybody that hung in there those extra couple of minutes while we got ourselves together.
It's my fault. I've had too much coffee.
Yeah. It's a new year, but it's the same us.
Darn it.
Yeah, I think 2026. I need to see more of the Mad Max that we see in the chat. The I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. I'm gonna make you like an intro for those types of content.
Oh man.
But
yeah. I'm gonna try and be. Well, I guess you're saying I should be angrier this year. Okay. Okay. Well, they say that as you get older, your tolerance for BS goes down. Like
that's true. It's true.
I'm getting there.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about
it. You saying you want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me? I loved him.
But man, so yeah, we're finally escaping that odd week of we don't know what time it is. We're stuffed with cheese and good food and nothing. It's like Vegas, basically. You don't know what time it is.
Mm-hmm. Where am I? How did I get here?
Yep.
Wait, you got to go to work tomorrow?
You're dunking Oreos and whiskey by the end of the week.
Well, I did all of that stuff other than go to Vegas. I did not dunk Oreos and whiskey, but I did dunk a lot of Oreos. I was joking around like my sister, her in-laws have a cabin in the North Georgia, and we go there for New Year's, and so I'm a bunch of us, family and friends and everything, and so I'm joking around. I'm breaking out the Oreos, and I said, "Do you guys want the cookies? I'm only eating the filling."
What's up, Rexship? We're gonna need Rexship in a little bit, but because I can't for the life of me remember that line of birds that he's been collecting.
Oh yeah,
But
Pelican Bay,
yes,
or I don't know, something.
something like that. But yeah, so you know, in the week we've had off, I mean, not necessarily off, but when we've had some downtime here and there over the holidays, I definitely started um, putting together some of my dios and things of that nature, and opening up some of the pickups because I didn't really get anything new this week. This week I'm getting some things in, so next weekend I'm going to have a lot to show off.
Okay,
But I did finally open my Delta 17 Leonidas with his puppy, and
excellent.
aw it is so awesome. Like, everything you've heard is true about Delta 17.
Does he
Um,
come with a doggy bowl too? Is that what
yes, and
is that
it comes
detachable?
off. Yep.
Okay.
So it comes
Yeah.
off, and now we've got a little doggy bowl, and how they put it on is nice. It's not just like
Mhm.
a peg, like, it's actually like a half circle peg. So, yeah, I don't think that
Okay.
that is going to be a problem over time.
Mhm.
Um, but the attention to detail on this guy is awesome, and I felt like I was 7 years old again when I picked him up and started putting them together. The peg on the backpack is nice. I don't know if you remember, back in the day, some pegs on the backpacks worked great and some did not, you know? Um, so
Yeah.
but so I opened that guy up. A rooster's next, and then I did some painting. I don't know if anybody follows me on Instagram, but I took a cheapo Egyptian package of little rubber plasticky things, and I'm starting to paint them for my tomb diorama that I'm working on for Monster Force slash GI Joe, where I'm bringing the two lines together. So I started working on that, and we'll see where that goes. And you said you opened up a couple of things, or started working your way through
Did.
your pile of loot.
Yes, I did. So I finally got around to, well, I'll show you my Fantastic Four figures. So I'm only missing Susan Storm, or Susan
Hmm.
Richards, the Invisible Woman, and for some reason that she's impossible to find now. I was a little late to the game picking these up, and because I ended up liking the movie more than I thought I was going to. So the Thing, I've always loved having the Thing. He's not my favorite Marvel character, but he's always a great action figure. I had
Hmm.
the original Toy Biz Fantastic Four, and in comparison, the Thing was always the better one. So this is a pretty good figure. I mean, he's big and chunky, and as a result, there's a little less articulation, but um, he's okay for what you get. And then Mr. Fantastic, which I've swapped out some Marvel Legends. So this is, you probably can't see it. I don't know if you can, but this is Marvel Legends Reed Richards and not the Pedro Pascal. Thankfully, this one is actually a really good scale and it fits just fine. And it comes with the bendy arms, but the left arm has got some paint rub. It looks like it had some QC issues,
Hmm.
and it's like I guess it might be initially black plastic or something. But the white paint is scratched off, and it
Ooh.
looks like a white paint pen and just covered it over, and it's totally cheap looking.
Mm.
And apparently these bendy arms are. I thought the whole arm was bendy. It only starts about right here, so they're
Oh,
very
okay.
so. But the original Marvel Legends, or the most recent Marvel Legends, these are the fingers from that particular uh, figure, and they fit just fine on this figure. So I've got the Reed Richards that I want, and I'm kind of in the process of painting the interior black. So that's just the
Mhm.
first coat, and I'm going to put a second coat on there so it matches the movie version. So yeah, the I did a review of the Human Torch and Johnny Storm, and those are two great figures, and then Silver Surfer, and that's a decent figure as well. So um, I would say that the Reed Richards is probably the weakest of the bunch, but being able to swap out the parts a bit makes it somewhat, uh, palatable, I guess, because that's a really good original Reed Richards head sculpt from that figure. The Marvel Legends figure is pretty good. The figure's kind of janky, but the head sculpt's good. So yeah, and I really enjoyed the movie. So yeah, that's probably these two figures. Haven't opened my Stinger yet, and then I've got a couple of random GI Joes that I picked up that not going to be doing a review on those since they're so old. So maybe a short video. Maybe I'll do a short, but other than that, right now I'm just kind of in the post-holiday holding pattern, waiting for pre-orders to come in. Things that should have been in at the end of last year are now probably going to be first quarter of next year before I get them. So what do I do with my time?
You just gave me a really good idea, or a really Grinchy idea, for an upcoming Sunday Fun Day. Now, I know we try and stick to about an hour and a half show, but what if we did a speed run of the new to us Joe characters, but maybe the older GI Joe or older figures that we're just getting, do a speed run live review where you go through the ones that you're getting, I go through the ones that I'm getting, and just what is this guy? What does he come with? Okay, cool. Like just speed run it for those that are just getting into classified. Because I'll tell you what, after every year after Christmas, there's at least 5 to 10 posts like in that week of people like, hey, I'm just getting into classified. Like, who do you think I should go after first? And it's like, brother, you missed it, because like all this stuff you can't get anymore hardly unless you want to really pay for it. But I think that might be a cool way to get us to open our stuff as opposed to leave it in a box. But just a real quick speed run review week.
I thought about doing like a flashback or what I call a flashback Thursday, something like that, or throwback Thursday was what I was going to call it. Just pulling random figures that are 2024 and older, and I've been doing reviews since late 2024 all through 2025. So anything before that, like things that I got before I started reviewing, like just saying like Low Light, probably my favorite figure of 2024, and that was 2023 was no, I take that back. 2023 was when I got into the line. I think he came out with Tunnel Rat later that fall. So I would say 2023, that was definitely, and I loved Outback, but Low Light was just a great figure. So it's kind of like Airborne. That was probably my favorite figure of 2024. 2025, well, that would probably be Major Blood. So just kind of like, or pick and choose. Ronnie and Punk, they do the retro reviews here and there. So the throwback stuff. So it's like, just kind of that's some ideas just to share with folks.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would tune in for that for sure, because every now and then you look back, and I feel like I'm pretty covered as far as all the figures that I wanted for classified up to this point. But every now and then I'll see a review on YouTube or something. It'll just come up as part of the algorithm, and I'll go, you know what? I don't think I gave that one a fair shake, and now I want to go get that guy. What was the night? Was it a night creeper, night stalker? What was the tracker or night tracker? The
Shadow Tracker.
Shadow Tracker. Yeah. I never got him.
I completely passed on him, and I don't even know where he showed up originally. I'm like, where did this guy come from? I don't recall him. He was definitely not in the original comic line. Maybe he was in the Deke cartoon. I don't know. And the fact that he didn't have an unmasked head bugged me for some reason. He looked like a good figure, but he was also a Walmart exclusive, if I recall correctly. And so any of those exclusive figures, if they're not offered, I mean, what is it? The Range Viper. I don't even know why it's still up on the Walmart website, because it's always out of stock. And the only people that have it are people that sell on Walmart, and it's like $90. Like, I don't love anything that much. So,
There you go. Wreck Ship swinging in.
Oh,
Shadow
okay.
Tracker.
All right.
It's a new
Wreck Ship
character.
for the win.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I heard about Pursuit of Cobra, and I heard good things about it, but I don't think it lasted as long as people had hoped it would have.
Joe Fan.
Okay, Joe Fan.
But yeah, to me, initially, when you get into the line, you want what you're familiar with, and then now that you've kind of amassed that, you're like, oh, like I said, you see a video somewhere, or Wreck Ship is selling off, making some room for his plunger beaks, and you're like, oh, that might be something to consider.
Yeah.
But maybe to start this show, what I want to do, and this is as much for anybody in the chat as it is for us, what advice would we give our favorite toy manufacturers, the do's and don'ts of 2026? Hasbro. I'll give one example, then I'll shut up. I'll let you talk, and we'll see what the chat comes up with. But for an example, all the announcements of late are repaints, and they are like straight repaints of existing characters. Just nothing's changed. No new weapons or outfits or anything like that. I would say, if you have to do that, let's make it more like the Ghost Viper, where that is all parts and pieces from different characters, but somehow it feels like a new character. Do that.
Yeah.
Don't just do that straight repaint. And also, part B to that is don't put it in a 3-pack. A hostage pack that's going to be like $100.
Yeah, that blew my mind when I heard that, because I thought, that Joe Arctic Trooper, it's just Big Ben, and Big Ben's a good figure, but I wish that. Well, I was shocked that it was a 3-pack. It's just like I'm scratching my head. Who's going to buy that? Now, the white Night Viper looks pretty good. The white Saw Viper, that's probably the weaker of the three. I would have I wish they had just given us a straight Arctic Big Ben, and then included the same extra heads, included the same Steel Brigade head. That way you could army build that particular figure, or you could have Big Ben. That's another figure that's kind of hard to find. Also a Night Force. It was a Walmart exclusive, so you can find it from time to time for a decent price. But yeah, that's just scratching my head over.
Now hearing you say that, part C, I'm gonna be like, this is an extra long recommendation list. How about we make it so that all the heads fit on stuff? So if I go to buy a body like that Arctic Joe, I can pop 2 or 3 different heads on that guy and get some extra use out of it and make it worth my time.
Yeah.
So
I do think that Joe is finally getting into that. They're finally, brand managers make multi-packs. Yeah. Joe has not done multi-packs a lot. Like, I mean, the Hiss Fire Team, that's the only 3-pack. Oh, well, the Viper 3-pack. But the Viper 3-pack is just three different colorings of the same figure.
The Crimson pack with Baroness and the twins.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that was
now we're headed down a rabbit hole. Now, like, what else do we have here? So yeah, the Hiss Fire Team. There was a bunch of 2-packs, but we never got into the triple packs much. You're right.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just kind of the Saw Viper. I ended up buying 2 of the originals, and while I am convinced that whoever designed the Saw Viper also designed a blowtorch, because there's a lot of new tooling and a lot of similar design elements, like molded holsters into the waist piece, the crotch area, that part that limits articulation. There's no ankle swivel or boot swivel when there's clearly enough space to add that. They're decent looking figures, but they clearly went more for form than function. And so in my mind, I have those 2 Saw Vipers. If I was in the Arctic troops, I would not want an Arctic Saw Viper. I think the Arctic Night Viper or White Viper looks pretty cool, that color scheme. But I think Adam pointed out that it has nothing that says Arctic on any of those people, with the exception of maybe Big Ben, who has a more SAS, heavy jacket. He's more, the look is more, colder weather, I think, than the others. So yeah, but I'm like, I don't know, just release them individually. Maybe it's just to cut down. Now that's but somebody they updated the arms to kind of make it look a little more cold weather gear-ish, I suppose. But yeah.
Quinn would be awesome. I saw one on Smokin' Joe's. I think it was last night or the night before. They put up Quinn AI mock-up, and it looked amazing. And I think they only used existing parts, so maybe the necklace was different, but
yeah, I definitely want them to dive into the comic. I want a Quinn. Who else is in the comic that we have never gotten? Oh, the Hard Masters, the various masters, the Hard Master, Soft Master, Blind Master. I want an unmasked Tommy Arashikage. And it's like they're gonna. I guarantee you that they're probably going to release a version 2 retro card, Storm Shadow, and that's where we'll get it. It'll probably be largely the same kind of figure. Maybe they'll change out that skirt piece that I don't like. I actually cut a lot of that off because I just don't. He's a ninja. He's not a samurai. And so that's where they'll probably finally give us one.
Speaking of comics, someone that I'd really like to see, and actually this would probably be a 3-pack. Give me the Vietnam era, or if you have to update to Afghanistan or whatever, I'd prefer you didn't, because I do like me some OG Joes. But give me the Vietnam era fire team of Joes. I'll plunk down $100 for that right now.
I've seen some awesome customs, absolutely awesome customs that just, it hurts my soul that I don't have them. It's like, because, and I actually asked Joe Lenta, I actually asked Larry Hama this, if he'd ever been pressured to retcon out the Vietnam War, or if he'd ever thought about doing that. And he said, no. He's just like, it's comics. Time doesn't work the same way. And my follow-up question, like, okay, is it, in your mind, is it perpetually the 80s? He said, it's just, time just doesn't work. It's just, time doesn't, nobody ages, that sort of thing. But again, that's where that's where retconning certain specific events, Marvel does this with the Punisher, or John Stewart in DC. They're not Vietnam vets anymore. They're Iraq, Afghanistan vets now, something along those lines. Or they're just kind of like generic Southeast Asia conflicts, like that sort of thing.
Yes.
But yeah, I would absolutely, that long range recon patrol team, that look for Snake Eyes, Stalker. Oh man. And if they ever did it, I guarantee you they would screw us. It would be San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, deliver it was SDCC exclusive, but you can get it on the website later. But yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll
it'll be cool.
I'll hold on one second here.
Everybody in the chat, let's read Joe's lips and see what it is that he may be saying. Let's get creative, fellas. What is he saying to the dog? Ronnie, if you're in the chat, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Breaker 19. So you know where you can get a Dr. Venom, and we were talking about this in the pre-show.
Mhm.
Monster Force, not this guy, but
You know, I should probably get that guy too, because you can get the Joe Colton head.
mhm.
Yeah, that's probably something I should pick up eventually as well. Maybe that'll but $40.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And I don't know how toy companies can tackle it in 2026, but you cannot have the same price point for this guy who just comes
Mhm.
with multiple heads. Like, I get it. Like, yes, we've got one, two, three, four different heads and a set of hands, but it's not like he comes with weapons or gear or
Mhm.
anything else.
Right.
Um, same thing with Dracula. He comes with a sword and two
Mhm.
heads. That's it. And he's the same price as this guy who comes with, a werewolf head, a regular head, all kinds of gear. And like
Yeah.
this $40 is pushing it, but at least I can feel okay about this
Mhm.
purchase because you can customize other. I can take some of the gear off some of these guys and customize other Joes.
Mhm.
Um, but I do. I think they need to figure out the price point that works.
Yeah. Well, and that's such a rabbit trail. I mean, it's like a black hole of anger for me.
We
I
are
mean, it's just
unleashing Mad Max.
yeah. It's like, well, I mean, Fresh Monkey Fiction, they're smaller group.
Hmm.
As I mentioned in the pre-show, that some of the things that they've said in various cons is that, I mean, they essentially like the pre-orders, they put stuff out to pre-order before the tooling's even made because they want to know how popular it's going to be. It kind of tells them how many they need to make. And so, that's gonna with smaller, unless you're doing a Kickstarter all the time, which, that has its own inherent ups and downs and pros and cons. I get it. It's kind of like Valaverse charging about 30, but
Hmm.
when GI Joe was 24 and 24,
Yeah.
25. So it's $5 more, but you're getting a significant amount more. Now you can tell that there's a difference in the quality, at least in terms of like the face sculpts. They're, Valaverse, their face sculpts are a little more on the muted side, in my opinion. GI Joe has a tendency to do very, very, very good face sculpts, but where Valaverse kind of excels is they went with articulation. They want good. They've got the best butterfly joints. They get lots of weapons, a lot of good quality weapons. He knows their market. It's marketed towards 14 plus, adult collectors, adolescent collectors. But then now you got him going down in price for the same product. GI Joe giving you less and charging you more. And it's like he's,
Yeah.
providing the next wave is just stellar. He's gonna make a killing. GI Joe is going to, I think Joe will probably always be a bit higher, but at any rate, I think Valaverse has this year they have a significant chance to cut into Hasbro's market because of that.
Mhm.
So that'll be
Yep.
interesting to see as this year goes on, is because I will admit that, I mean, personality aside, what they have coming down the pike really this year really intrigues me. So the pirate stuff, the World War II stuff. He's got the license to Splinter Cell. I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan, so curious to see what that looks like. So yeah,
and it looks like World War II now is getting. Excuse me.
Uh-oh. A peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss.
So, where were we before I just got my ears blown out?
Valaverse and pricing and changes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hasbro
So,
going up, Valaverse going down.
Yeah, so Valaverse sounds like last night on one of the shows, Bobby said that World War II is to 2027 now. So
okay.
So hopefully we've got some time to save up.
Yeah.
Tinker, my dogs are super pissed about price points. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I mean, I think that he has a golden opportunity in front of him if he can just, kind of keep his opinions to himself. I think he's his own worst enemy, Bobby.
Yeah.
He's got a great product. Actually, Ronnie probably saved me from myself because I got worked up over something one night, and he's just like, hey, don't get involved in that stuff. Just kind of like we were talking about on the New Year's show. Hey, show the toy, tell us why you like it or don't, and move on about your day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had when I did my review of the ESU police officer, there was a part of me that really wanted to just blast Hasbro and just kind of not necessarily get political as much as just saying I think that how they handled that was cowardly. I just thought, I mean, whatever your opinions are, I just think how they handled it incredibly poorly. But ultimately I was just like, I'm not gonna blast all of that on a video. It's just, at the end of the day, it's a piece of plastic. It looks cool. It's a cool figure. I'm glad it comes with what it does. And now that all the brouhaha is over, you can still, I'm honest to gosh, my Target has next to nothing, and I can find half a dozen of those things, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, right. Yeah. And there's that whole phrase of, there's no publicity. There's no bad publicity. And, I kind of feel like just let's just be collectors and just enjoy our stuff ultimately. But make it affordable, right? And if it's affordable for you, okay, great. I remember making a comment once about prices going up, and this guy was like, he's like, no, you're just broke. I'm like, no, I mean, I can afford it. I just don't think it's worth it. So if I don't feel like $40 price point, if it's $40 and it doesn't come with much, if it's not a value to me, I'm not spending $40 just because I can afford it. Isn't the point. Is like, I don't think the value is there.
And I think that's going to be the theme of 2026. I mean, that's where we started this conversation of, what advice would we give to, the toy manufacturers? You're going to have to show value. If you want people's dollars, I think you're going to see a major shift in how people collect, because there is so much out there. If you're Old Testament 3 3/4, you've got probably 3 or 4 different companies now that you can go to, right? So it's not like it's just somebody's got the market cornered. If you're a 6-inch, you've got GI Joe, you've got Fresh Funky Fiction, you've got, Plunder Beaks, you've got there's all these different facets. What was the one that you and Casey collect? The Animal Kingdom
Animal
of the
Warriors of the Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And then we got the Star Trek stuff coming out. So
yep.
whenever that starts rolling, once they think that's those price points, $28.99. And if you're familiar with the Star Trek lore at all, I mean, it comes with some very specific and very some kind of deep cut accessories, and then some very famous accessories. So this first wave, I wasn't going to buy this one particular character because she has one scene in Star Trek 3, but she comes with the Genesis device and the missile and the control panel that you see from Wrath of Khan, and that's the best Star Trek movie. So, and the figure, and the figure is not a bad not a bad looking figure. It's just one of the deepest of the deep cuts. So,
right.
Once I saw an in hand, okay, they painted it very well. It's not just doesn't look cheap. Okay, I decided to order that. So, yeah.
I think they actually took their cue from Super 7 and the G.I. Joe Ultimates, because the G.I. Joe Ultimates came with deep cut accessories that you're like, holy cat, Gung Ho came with a little Wolverine model. And if you remember, there was that one episode where, he was, reporting live from the battlefield when everybody was retreating. But that's brilliant, now, as far as Super 7 goes, it's not $55 brilliant, but it is $20 brilliant, $25 brilliant,
Yeah. I would love to see, so you have a lot of the Super 7 stuff, and yet you're probably the only person I know that has any, because all I've ever heard is that they're junk. And I've asked around, some people have some of the Silverhawks. They're like, yeah, they're not that great. And I'm thinking, then how in the world, where's the $55? I mean, if they're not if they're not either well made or good plastic, good joints, I mean, where does that $55 going? Because I wouldn't mind having a decent 6-inch scale, well articulated Thundercats figure, but Super 7 has the rights to that, and even the retro carded ones that you can find in Target, $37 or something like that. I'm like,
yeah,
where is there $37 in this thing? So,
yeah, no, Breckship's got it right there.
Okay, all right.
They will complain all day long about the licensing of it, but you negotiated that deal. You need to figure out what price point is going to sell, and then figure out how to make it for that price point. Because I will tell you that for being shelfies, right? So my Super 7 Ultimates, they look great on a shelf. Some of them I have to prop because they don't stand correctly no matter what you do. I'll come over in the morning, and I think I took a picture of I don't know who it was, but somebody was plowing Cobra Commander. That's what it looked like when I came down in the morning, because he had fallen over and it looked like he was getting plowed. And Destro and Major Blood were laughing because I put the laughing faces on them. So it was a great moment.
Did you take a picture?
Oh yeah. I'll pop that up on my Instagram again later tonight. But no, they look great. They are exactly what you remember from Sunbow. If you were a Sunbow G.I. Joe person, they look great. Roadblock looks like Roadblock is supposed to look, not the classified look, not that classified face sculpt.
LeBron James.
Yeah. But it's something that at full price, and I'm still kicking myself because there was 3 I paid full price for to complete the line, and the rest of them I got in the big box toy store fire sale, where it was $55 and you got 4 or 5 figures, whatever it was. But they have all the waves now for like $50, 50,
Yeah.
$55. So if you wanted something to stick on a shelf, never touch, never play with, never pose, don't even stare at it too hard, Super 7's your guy.
Okay. BBTS has had that for, you can get Destro Baroness, Lady J, and Flint. And I will say that those are probably my 4 favorite characters from the cartoon, particularly Flint and Lady J. I really love both of them. I love the prominence. I love the fact that they had a relationship and everything. And the actress that voiced Lady J, they based their look on that actress. So I always thought that was kind of cool. But they're always ever like, they're all 4 together. So I don't know. I just haven't done it yet.
I'll say that the Baroness is very difficult to keep standing. She's one of the ones where I have to figure out what's the best way to display her, because she's the one who took out 3 or 4 figures on the shelf. Her cover girl looks great, but she's just not balanced, like no matter how you pose her. And Roadblock's another one, like he's pretty imbalanced. So but and the thing about Flint and Lady J is the paint apps were off on the face. So like they're not bad. Like if you're looking at them, like it's like if you pick it up and come up close, you'll notice that there's a difference in the way that their faces look compared to everybody else in the line. But from a distance, they're fine. But again, it's a hostage pack deal. You're either getting all of them or none of them. So
yeah, and that's kind of what hearing anecdotal stories, everything. Nothing really ever sells me on it, because most people, it's fine. Like that's basically what it sounds like. It's fine.
Yeah. It's and I think that's what 2026 is going to proof out, are going to be which line is like, it's fine, it's not for me anymore. Or this is worth my money. And I think that what it's going to do is hopefully it won't play out this way, but capitalism, it is what it is. You're going to see people that succeed in the value benefit, and potentially they might bump it up $1 or $2, like Bobby Vala's thing is, I'm here for the consumer. Well, you're also here to make money, sir. So
and he must be doing all
Agreed.
right. He must be. So
yeah,
it needs to be more than fine. I agree with that. And but I also do believe that I think, and you see this in Hollywood, it seems like the idea of give the people what they want seems to be forgotten. Like, you will put people's butts in seats if the movies are well written and well produced, if you're not pandering to them or whatever, or you're not just, like I said, I mean, I will always come back to, and I know I'm not the only one, but it's like, and I think Adam contacted Lenny from the Joe team, and he responded because I was wondering, like, where are the comic characters? Why haven't we gotten into that yet? Do we not have that right? The stuff that Larry Hama specifically created for the comic, where those Marvel own the rights. We talked to the guy that does the various Joe compendium books, or the history of Joe. It's like the character. Forgive me, I know in the chat I don't have any of them, so I can't remember the guy's name. But he had said, I was hanging out with Ronnie and Adam, because I would love to see that Sikorsky-looking transport helicopter that Cobra used in the comic all the time. And he said that they didn't have the rights to that because it was designed by Marvel, not by Hasbro. Lenny says that, to his knowledge, they own all of it. So by that, well, if that's the case, then they should be able to do anything so that they want. So where is the, why have we not dove into the comic? The only thing I can think of is that the cartoon reached more people than the comic did. Yeah. Yes, that's who I'm talking about, Rick. Yeah, Jono. So yeah, he mentioned that helicopter was not that Hasbro. That was a Marvel design and not a Hasbro design. So I'm like, well, shoot. But anyway, I know I can't be the only one that wants to see, some more of the specific characters. So
I bet you Ronnie's on that train, at least now, based on his latest Instagram posts. It seems very much comic centered.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame that when the compendiums came out, they didn't use that as a springboard. Like, it honestly seems so disjointed in the approach of how Classified does things. Like, from a certain point of view, yes, they're 100% all in on Sunbow because they've got Cobra Law, they've got the GI Joe movie covered. Like, that seems like the basis for everything they're doing right now. But in the 80s, when you had Kirk Bazigian in charge of that whole group, he was able to weave everything together. So it felt like it all, like, whatever the thing was at the time that was going on, they found a way to capitalize on it. And it just seems like that is missing from this right now. Like, that straw stirring the drink. They need to get everybody on the same page. Dreadnought War, everybody seems to be loving that right now. How that's going, and I myself haven't been reading it. Energon, things of that nature. Like, all we're getting are mole rats right now. Like, where's the other crossover stuff?
Yeah. Well, in the Energon universe, they're using classified designs, like the classified rock and roll, the classified raptor, the classified clutch, as well as some new characters, as well as some, the classified Major Blood. I guess technically his design really hasn't changed much since the 80s, but the comic is pulling from the toy line and not the other way around. Although I do recall that has been brought up in some Q&A, that they are aware of the designs from the Energon universe, and a lot of them are pretty good. I wouldn't mind having an Energon Duke. That'd be pretty cool. And then there's some new versions of Shooter. So yeah, it's I don't know. I guess they're just not, it's just not on their radar. The idea, and this is something that Bobby Vallis said a while back, that part of the reason he saw what Hasbro was not doing with the Joe line, and he knew that collectors wanted weapons packs and head packs and hand packs and all this kind of stuff. All of this thing, all these specific niche items that collectors would actually want. He's like, it's like printing money. And the idea that Hasbro hasn't bothered with that is definitely just, it's head scratching. Like, why are you not, but I mean, I guess technically they keep throwing the same weapons at us, to fill out 2 packs and here, this and that. But at the same time, why is there no specific, like, we're going to design some specific Cobra weapons? I loved buying those weapons packs when I was a kid.
Yes.
And some of the little smaller set pieces,
Well, and they were priced to sell too, right? So, like, they were designed to be that, that's a no-brainer. Like, you're buying Little Billy a tomahawk for Christmas, but now you can throw in 2 or 3 weapons packs, or we're going to throw in an outpost, and that's where the helicopter's landing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's see. Well, you want to get into the predictions, or?
Yeah. So this is our prediction mascot, brought to you by Rexshep. Chum Knuckles, the prognosticating baboon.
Oh, that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, and he's looking for tips if you take a picture. Just
Yeah.
we've established that.
Yeah, and it's like the handwriting's so bad. It's like, and they misspelled it. I think I was like, "What does pitness tips?" It's like, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
pictures."
it says
Not even
pictures.
pictures.
Pictures. So, do you want to go first with a prediction, or what Chum Knuckles told you?
Oh gosh. Like, I guess for what line? I mean, you want to?
So maybe we can go with let's start with the easiest one. At least as far as I'm concerned, I think GI Joe is pretty easy to figure out what direction they're headed in this year.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe we start there and then get into a little bit of Marvel and
Sure.
see where
Well,
we're going.
my prediction based on, I know people. I'm sure people are probably right that are predicting that little ski that they revealed being a part of the Polar Battle Bear. I don't think that's it. I think it's Zanya. I think Zanya is gonna. Is that her name? Zartan's daughter. I think
Yes,
she's gonna
Zanya.
be she'll be the pilot for the swamp skier, because that
Mhm.
seems to be a thing that they're doing. Like the Claw came with a female pilot. What else came with a female pilot? The ferret. The
The ferret.
ferret. So they've done female characters with vehicles. I'm thinking that Zanya will come with that because Zartan came with that. So I'm thinking that, uh, and the Swamp Skier, that design just seems very reminiscent to me of that. And
Mhm.
I think that collar, some have speculated, Rick Ship, that might have been you, my friend, that was like dinosaurs. Like, that would be wild if that was the harness for some kind of dino. But I mean, we got a
Yeah.
giant scorpion, so why not? But I think it's going to be one of the. I think Dusty. There was a later Dusty figure version that he
Mhm.
came with an animal. I think it'll probably be that, because while there's an Arctic theme, there's also a desert theme, because we got the desert
Mhm.
trooper. So I think that's my prediction, at least for what's been revealed. And I would hope that they would at some point before the end of the year reveal Muskrat, and because we're
Mhm.
getting really close to the completion, or hopefully this will be the year that we finally get Flash. We need Flash and Grand Slam to finish out the OG-13. They
Mhm.
have all the accessories for Flash, and I do hope that it's not just going to be like a reuse of tripwire, but I do hope that we get Flash or Muskrat this year. That
Right.
would be perfect for because those are like pretty much the top two. Uh, we have the Hydro Viper. We know that's coming, but
Mhm.
yeah, before the end of the year, I hope we get those announcements. But I think my predictions are Zanya with the Swamp Skier, Dusty with his dog, wolf, whatever. I can't remember what it was. Sorry, guys.
Mhm. So I'm in agreement with Jono here. Um, I think we are gonna. I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see the capping off or the finishing of lines, right, or sub teams rather. Um, and I think you're gonna see Globulus as part of a San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con, one of those,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or maybe even just a Hasbro Pulse, exclusive like they did with what the heck's her name, Pythona. Um, but there you go. Um, but yeah, I think you're going to see the end of the Dreadnoks, and I think how they're going to cap it off. You're going to get Zanya, you're going to get version 2 Zartan, both have been announced. You're going to get
Right.
your Chameleon, which I already have. So Zanya better be at the right price point, or I'm not really going to care about that. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't care about it because I have a Chameleon already for Zartan. Um, but we'll get a Thunder Machine, and then that'll be that for the Dreadnoks. I know
Actually,
like
we have
Zanzibar is still hanging
yeah,
out there, but
yeah.
I think this year, 2026, will see us fill out the Dreadnoks, and we'll be done with that. I think
Mhm.
Arctic, we're going to get a Polar Battle Bear, and then maybe we're going to get an what was the wolf? Was it a snow wolf? What was the Cobra vehicle?
Yes, the wolf, the snow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
So
cool.
maybe.
I was actually, I was getting caught up on the comic. And they used one of the more recent issues, the last couple of months. They'd use the wolf, and I'm like, that's a pretty cool design, and it actually looks like it
Mhm.
would work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be cool.
I think we'll finish out Arctic for that. Ship's hoping for a burnout. Yeah, that'd be cool. I forgot about
Mhm.
that. That was kind of like as I was out of the line. Um, so not my dreadnought. But I hope that people get the ones that they want that are their
Yeah,
dreadnoughts. So
yeah.
I think we'll see Arctic and I think we'll see the dreadnoughts get filled out. We see that what is the we're getting Taurus and
Oh, right, Red Dog.
Red Dog. So we're done with the Sarge troops.
Yes, Slaughter's
Um,
Marauders.
yeah. So we're kind of done with Slaughter at that point.
Mhm.
And then we can move into more of a focus on the desert, which, to your point, if that leash
Mhm.
goes to the Bobcat, that makes sense. They can bring back the Vamp, which it's been
Yes,
about what, three years, and they said it was a 3-year moratorium when they put something out, something like that. So
like yeah,
maybe we get the Desert Vamp with the missiles, um, and then move into desert stuff. But this is just
yeah,
what Chum Knuckles told me. I don't know any of this stuff. This is just what
yeah.
Chum Knuckles told me.
Well,
But
the Dusty and Sandstorm is his name, and it looks
mhm.
like a coyote, um,
Yes.
but it's
Yep.
completely different version of Dusty. Like he's got not like like sleeveless shirt on and camo pants. I mean, there could be some reuse there,
Mhm.
but yeah, I can see that being what that collar was for. Um, so maybe they'll intersperse a little like two extremes, of
Mhm.
environmental. Um, I would like to see Zanzibar. Strangely enough, I'm not really big into dreadnoughts, but I always thought Zanzibar and that weird swamp copter was kind of cool.
Mhm.
Although, wait, no,
Uh, d
he was on. He didn't have the swamp copter. He was something else. But yeah, I think like what you said to the Vamp Mark II, desert themed. So,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure that's been announced, or somebody has said that they've acknowledged that they're going to do it. That it's in the queue.
And
So
don't we have a Mutt Mad Marauders? Don't we have a Mutt Mad Marauders? I thought we do.
not no, we
Let me
have
see.
Spirit and Low Light. I don't think we have Mutt yet.
Let's see.
Yeah, and that tan color grunt came with the hang glider. I had that one.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't last very long at all. It was not sturdy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I was
had
looking.
barbecue. Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, so maybe that was a mock-up that I saw somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah, Barbecue Spirit, Low Light. Um, yeah, because that's right. I was also thinking of Night Force Falcon, and that was a whole different sub team.
Yeah.
But I think that if they do something like that, that would be a successful year, as long as they don't repaint too much, or if they
Mhm.
do repaints, that they try and do more Ghost Viper type stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but what about Marvel? Because isn't something or is it DC? DC is the one that's changing hands, right? It's going to
Yeah.
Mattel. So.
Yeah, DC Multiverse is leaving McFarlane. I think they will have the license through the end or middle of this year,
Okay.
something like that, and then probably this time next year, Mattel will start releasing stuff. I could be wrong about that at the time, the timing, but I think McFarlane was supposed to. It was like the cutoff was supposed to be the end of 2025, but instead there's still some. They'll still be doing statues of Marvel stuff, but as far as DC goes, they're just churning and burning, man. They jacked up the price for the same. I mean, like literally almost like $12. Some of these figures that were going for like 22 are now $34.99, and there's next to nothing. They just slapped the McFarlane Collector's Edition label on it. It's gotten pulled off of the shelves, the main aisle shelves in Walmart, and put into the collector section. And I mean, there is two figures that if they come out with them, I might be interested in getting. So I don't know. They haven't announced it. People are wondering that maybe they've completely pulled. They announced it, but we haven't gotten any. Oh, really? The end of 2026. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, there's a Starman figure and a Cosmic Boy figure. Now, the Cosmic Boy figure, that should be released for sure. The Starman figure, both are going to be red platinums, which I'm like, why? Why are you making collecting hard, Todd? And and that's kind of what I hope that Bobby Valla does not become like Todd McFarlane and basically who doesn't stink and everything that they do is perfect, even though it's not. And to each his own. But the McFarlane Toys DC first line could be 1,000 times better in certain areas, in my opinion. So there's been a few that I've enjoyed. Others have been largely a disappointment. So. But the idea that, oh, well, we're losing the license, so we're just going to charge you this much more because, I mean, you're just sticking it to the fans at that point. And I don't know why anybody would just say, just give him the middle finger and say, well, I'll just wait for Mattel.
Well, and has Mattel even confirmed what size their figures are going to be yet?
I don't think so. I haven't heard. So, but I would imagine it's going to be probably my guess would be it's going to be equivalent to the Motu figures, so probably 1/10 scale, which that would be fine because that's the scale of the McFarlane figures. So I think that's what a lot of McFarlane figure or collectors are concerned about. They want it to be the same scale so it fits in, so it can just kind of keep everything. Well, it seems like they're making more Batman figures because they've got a bazillion Batman versions that they've made.
Well, and the thing is if you look at some of the other companies that have the license to make figures too, they're doing better versions and they're doing more niche versions. And you're like, if I'm going to get a Batman, why am I going to, get something that McFarlane's putting out if I can get, who's doing the Frank Miller one? There's like a Frank Miller Hush Batman coming. He's just so blocky and that's a cool Batman to me. That's a Batman I'd want.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I don't have a Mafex Batman. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I did pre-order one, but due to issues of shipping from Japan, I don't know when I'll get it. But I have ordered something just to kind of like,
dip your toe in the water.
Yeah, I want a really good Batman figure. And while I have picked up a few McFarlane Batman figures, they're not. When I look at the McFarlane figures, even compared to a basic G.I. Joe figure, it's like, hey, I mean, why do you still have pins? I mean, even Bobby Valla has said this. He's like, there's no reason at all for McFarlane to be making figures with pins. He's like, their product is made in the same, well, at least it was. I think Valaverse has changed factories, but at the time they were manufactured in the same facility. So it's just like, why aren't you just updating? You know, just get with the times and improve some of your. And the reuse on McFarlane is just, it's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. The things that they.
And I think that's becoming a pandemic in the action figure industry. Is if you look at Vala, he's got the same buck, and it's just a different set of accessories on it for the majority of his line. And you know, if you look at something that I want to get into a little bit here, which is Monster Force, you know, they have a lot of the same bucks. You know, it's probably three different bucks that they're using, maybe 2 or 3. And it's just a different set of accessories, different set of heads. It's not necessarily a bad thing if you do it well. See also Ghost Viper, you know, not bad doing repaints on things if you can make them interesting. But I think 2026 is going to be the year of kind of the Valas, the Monster Force, the you know, those third party companies that come out of nowhere. And I do hope, kind of to your point, what they do is they don't rest on the laurels. They don't, you know, kick back and say, you know, you get what you get. But you know, I think that there are some exciting things coming. If you look at Monster Force, they've got Bigfoot coming. You know, that's going to be a big character. That's going to be. I mean, it's expensive. It is stupid expensive.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it is 8 inches tall, so it's damn near polar bear height.
Yeah.
You know, it's and it's going to be the same height as the Kilowog werewolf. So that'll pair well with that. But I love it. You know, I pre-ordered the Bigfoot. I'm like, who couldn't use a Bigfoot? He believes in me.
Yeah.
But you know, they're also putting out things that have crossover value. Monster Force, right? So like they have the Dr. Venom, you know, head and buck. Yeah, not Dr. Venom, werewolf guy. But you know, that's one thing I noticed about the zombie guys. The head fits on all of the Cobra Troopers. So all the zombie heads snap right on to the $17 Cobra Troopers. So you know, you get
like the retro card ones.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
So so that you get what is it, 3 heads? I'm looking for my okay. So you get with the so this guy gives you 2 heads. The anti-terrorism blue one gives you 3 heads. So if you buy one of those and then a couple of Cobra Troopers, you know, you've got like a mini zombie army already. A zombie army that fits in with your G.I. Joe stuff. Because you know, they'll be all dressed up in Cobra. The helmet for the Cobra Trooper, for the Retro Trooper, fits on that head. It's perfect. So I think the ones that will give us crossover value, that have value in their presentation of what goods come with the figure, that's where you know, the winners are going to be in 2026. And that's just what that's what Chum Knuckles told me.
And Chum Knuckles is always right, even though we only just met him. He's always right. Well, I think that it proves the point that, kind of going back to what I was saying, if you give the people what they want, they will give you their money. Like if you listen to what fans want, they recognize that, and they're not they're not trying to be jerks about it. Like, we're going to be our only thing, and so you have to buy only our stuff to have this. And so, the idea of, well, yeah, we're going to probably buy that thing and take a couple of pair of calipers and measure that ball peg so that our heads fit on that figure, because that's what fans like, and that generates that positive. It gives you that street cred. It gives you that positive feedback. Oh, these people are willing to listen to us, and they're willing to give us what they want, and they're designing it in such a way so that there is that crossover, as opposed to, here it is, take it or leave it, like the McFarlanes or the Hasbros of the world. And
Right.
It's like, when half of the heads don't you can't swap out heads on half of the line of the same line. So
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of exceeded our first hour. I know next week what we're going to do is what our preference for pickups is going to be in 2026. So that way we kind of get the first 2 weeks of the new year covering that. Our guesses, our predictions, or Chum Knuckles predictions, and then now what do we see ourselves picking up? So what do you have coming out this week, if anything?
This is going to be a very busy week for me, so I have one video already in the queue, but I want to start off this year with my first video being more comics oriented. So I have had the Kickstarter compendiums from G.I. Joe for a year now, and I've been saying that I'm going to do a review for a year now. Now, I'm not really, it's going to be more of a retrospective of the comic. So that's been in the back of my mind, for about a year. So I'm going to try and get to work on that if not this week, then the next, and then probably a few shorts after that. And then after that, until the pre-orders start rolling in, I don't have any figures in the line, anything new. So this kind of fall winter has been a large kind of comic omnibus pickup season for me. So you might see me shift gears a little bit and talk more about comics and omnibuses that I picked
Sounds
up.
good.
Yeah. But I feel I need to start it off right with G.I. Joe. So
yeah, no, and I think I'm gonna change it up a little bit, because it's been so long since I've done a review. I need to get some reviews out the door, because I've definitely been, who was it that said fondling? Was that Eric? Said something about fondling their figures. But I have some reviews I need to get out, so I'm going to try and start kicking those out this week. But I'm also going to be doing a series on, the steps of doing the tomb, the diorama that I'm working on.
Oh yeah,
so,
that'd be cool.
And how it all comes together, what I'm using, and we'll see how that goes. That's funny.
Omnibussy.
Omnibussy. So I think that's what people can be on the lookout for. And then next week, hopefully we have a larger contingent to, forewarn the collecting world to stay out of our way, because those are the things we're picking up this year. But as always, I appreciate you being here. I think this has been one of our better ones so far on Sunday Fun Day. I think we covered quite a bit of ground, and I had a great time.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody in the chat that stopped by, came through, is catching us on the replay. Be sure to subscribe and like Max's channel, and we'll be stopping in on other shows coming soon. So we will catch you all next week. All right.
Yo, Joe.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Yo,
guys.
Joe.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.